Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today we are reacting to 15 times the Simpsons predicted the future. Now, like I said in the video I did yesterday, we are going to be trying to react to some stuff which is slightly outside of what we usually react to. Usually we react to a lot of British comedy stuff. This is a more general thing, but you know, I watch a lot of the Simpsons. I usually watch a couple of episodes on Disney Plus before going to bed each night. So yeah, 15 times the Simpsons predicted the future. This should be interesting, and yeah, let's get into it.
Who are the world's greatest prophets? The Mayans? Nostradamus? Edgar Casey? Bran Stark? Homer Simpson?
Hey, Nostradamus. Did the rapture come? I can't recall. Oh, in fact, I can recall, and it didn't, and you suck.
The Simpsons is not only the longest-running sitcom and animated show on TV, it's arguably one of the best shows, period. But did you know the show also employs a stunning amount of prophets? That's right, The Simpsons has predicted some major historical events and some completely random things like this.
Hey, Dolph, take a memo on your Newton. Beat up Martin.
Let's see, beat up Martin. Still doesn't work. What the f?
Strange.
Let's take a look at 15 things The Simpsons has predicted correctly. Before we get started, guys, I have a prediction of my own. You're gonna subscribe to GameSpot Universe right now. Okay, maybe not, but what if I ask nicely? Please subscribe, because we have a ton of videos on our current favorite show, Black Mirror, including breakdowns on each episode and a video on every single Easter egg.
It's a good show. It's just it is very.
Side note, guys, let's hope that none of that stuff ever comes true.
It's very scary
how the stuff that they say specifically FaceTime or video conferencing, which was predicted back in '95. Lisa visits a fortune teller at a fair, and we're transported 15 years into the future. She's talking to Marge using her phone's video chat feature called a picture phone, which was ahead of its time but finally became a reality in 2010. And now we all use it, even our grandparents.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, honey. I guarantee your father will behave.
Mom, it's a picture phone.
Oh, this? Oh, no, I just got a touch of the rheumatiz.
Oh. Mom, picture phone.
From the very same episode, the smartwatch. Lisa's fiancé makes a phone call using his extremely fashionable watch. Kinda reminds me of Dick Tracy and how bad I wanted one of those things. But it wasn't until 19 years later that modern voice recognition-enabled smartwatches would become widely available to the masses, thanks to Google, Samsung, and Apple.
But that's interesting.
Moving on, the GoPro.
So the first one, when they were talking about FaceTime, that one I could sort of it's hard to cast myself back then. I wasn't even alive back in 1995, but sure, when stuff started coming along like Skype and stuff where you could talk to each other on like a more virtual thing, I think you could predict that stuff was going to come. In terms of putting it on the watch, I don't know how many people would have thought of that. Like, would watches, were they starting to get digital back then? I don't know, but making calls on them, I'm surprised that they could have predicted that was possible. But yeah, what have we got now? We've got a GoPro in the hat. I remember I was watching this episode very recently, but yeah, let's get back into it.
Or a camera in comparable size that was featured on a 1994 episode. Homer took part in a hidden camera investigation into the expired meat on sale at the Quickie Mart. Bite Back host Kent Brockman and the Channel 6 investigative news team give Homer a giant novelty hat to wear that contains a tiny camera in it. And we know only a GoPro would fit in there. 20 years later, we were introduced to the GoPro, which is the go-to hands-free way to record your travels while swimming, running, biking, or spying on people. That's some of the good tech, but how about some shitty tech, as in faulty voting machines? Inspired by the 2008 presidential election, this episode finds Homer trying to place a vote for Barack Obama, and it doesn't go so well.
Hey, I only meant one of those votes for McCain. This machine is rigged. Must tell President
very
McCain.
Topical, considering all of the allegations around the 2020 election.
But not in America.
Now in 2012, this actually happened, and there's video on YouTube to prove it. Racking over 10 million views, this Pennsylvania machine wasn't calibrated correctly and changes a vote for Obama to Mitt Romney. Speaking of presidential elections,
I feel like
The
if you'd
Simpsons
clicked
predicted
Jill
Trump,
Stein underneath, it would have done it for
Trump.
Obama, though.
Yep. It's another flash forward to the future as Bart is an adult and Lisa is the President of the United States. Unfortunately, she is tasked with the gargantuan task of cleaning up after the disastrous job left by Donald Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
We're broke.
The country is broke? How can that be?
The National Security Agency made headlines
crazy.
in
That is
2013, but
actually
the NSA
crazy.
played a pivotal role in the Simpsons movie back in 2007. Quick refresher, Homer accidentally pollutes Springfield's water supply, the family goes on the run, and the EPA declares the family as fugitives. The NSA finally tracks down Marge and the kids by listening in on their conversations. And 6 years later, Edward Snowden revealed widespread mass surveillance of its citizens by the American government through phone and internet records. The show also correctly predicted the 2016 Nobel Prize winner 6 years before it happened. That's right, never underestimate.
See, that is what's like unbelievable, because the stuff with the surveillance, yeah, you could see that coming. That's been going on for years and years and years. Big Brother, 1984, that sort of stuff I could see coming. But when it's actually predicting that sort of stuff, like the president, like the Nobel Prize winner, it's unbelievable. It's genuinely unbelievable. Yeah, it is crazy, honestly. Like, I know they've probably had a lot of episodes predicting other things that haven't happened, and if you predict enough things, some of them are bound to come true. But yeah, this is really crazy. Yeah, let's keep it going.
Estimate Milhouse. He's a genius. Seriously. In 2010, he correctly predicted Bengt Holmstrom would win it, and he did in 2016. The Nobel Prize in Economics. Milhouse was part of a Nobel Prize betting pool. Nerd alert, with Lisa, Martin, and Database. It doesn't take a Nobel Prize winner to predict this one. FIFA is corrupt. Back in 2014, Homer was asked by FIFA to help repair the organization's image and to actually referee a World Cup in Brazil. Yep, that happened. The episode forecasted the FIFA arrests, though not by naming anyone specifically. Real-life FIFA officials were indicted a year later amidst corruption claims, bribery, and money laundering.
Yeah.
Also, bonus
Sepp
points
Blatter.
because The Simpsons also predicted that Germany would beat Brazil in that World Cup final. They just missed on the score. It turns out the Simpsons writers are also mathematicians, apparently, because Homer Simpson discovered the Higgs boson before anyone else. Homer was a good 14 years early on the God particle, which helps explain how everything in the universe has mass. In a 1998 episode, Homer becomes an inventor and is shown at a chalkboard with an extremely complicated equation. Unbelievably, that equation actually predicts the mass of the Higgs boson, or something extremely close to it. Believe me, it's incredible, and was co-signed by Dr. Simon Singh, author of The Simpsons and Their Mathematical Secrets.
That is insane.
This one is
That
extremely
insane.
bleak, but The Simpsons may have hinted at the Ebola outbreak way back in 1997. The episode features Marge trying to get a sick and depressed Bart out of bed and offering to read him this book, Curious George and the Ebola Virus.
Would you like to color something?
I did.
Oh,
Could that drawing be a sign of life after an outbreak of a deadly virus? I know it's a stretch, but this episode was widely shared by YouTube user The Controversy 7, who theorized that the show predicted the 2014 American Ebola outbreak. Elsewhere in the world, the show also predicted Greece's financial crisis a few years early. Back in 2012, Homer appeared as a guest commentator on the program Headbutt. Watch closely as the ticker runs across the bottom of the screen. Europe puts Greece on eBay. Of course, just 3 years later, Greece plunged into economic crisis,
Wow.
becoming the first developed country to default on an International Monetary Fund loan repayment. And yet another
wow.
scary one.
See, that is crazy. That is like some of the stuff like that. I can see coming. If you can see a country is in decline and it's slowly getting worse, and you can sort of predict this stuff coming. But when it comes to the one about the virus, about the president, about the reward, like the award, stuff like that. That's what's really crazy. Like the other stuff you can sort of like sees coming and sort of think, oh, this can happen in the future. Like this one I'm looking at now, the tiger attack. I don't know how you can see that one coming. Some of it is really surreal, and I would be interested in reading that book about the mathematical secrets in The Simpsons. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Siegfried and Roy's tiger attack. In the episode, Mr. Burns is opening up a casino with a wannabe Siegfried and Roy, two German magicians, Gunther and Ernst, and their long-running show that tragically ends in a tiger attack. 10 years later, Roy Horn was mauled in Las Vegas during a performance that left him partially paralyzed and ended the show's 13-year production. Speaking of performers, the show predicted Lady Gaga and her Super Bowl halftime show. Kudos for guessing Gaga would headline a big-time performance, but it's not all that impressive. Hell, she's one of the world's biggest stars. What's really impressive, however, is how spot-on the performance was. Her Springfield performance had her suspended in air, and the same came true 5 years later when she descended from the roof at halftime during Super Bowl 51. Only Sting did it better.
Yeah.
This one was recently confirmed. Disney owns Fox. Back in 1998,
Is
director
it not
Ron
a way
Howard
that
pitches Homer's
Lady Gaga
screenplay
could
to
have
producer
maybe
Brian
just
Grazer
seen
at
that and
20th Century
tried to do
Fox.
something similar?
Now, pay close attention to the sign at the beginning of this scene. The Fox studio lot is, quote, a division of the Walt Disney Company. Almost 20 years and more than $50 billion later, the Disney-Fox deal is a reality as Mickey Mouse and company continue their war with Netflix for your entertainment attention. And let's end it here because this one is extremely nuts and in no way feasible. The Simpsons predicted 9/11 in 1997. YouTube user Truth Will Find Ya Brew points out that the bus advertisement that promises New York tickets for $9 perfectly lines up next to the Twin Towers to read, New York 9/11. No way that is anything more than
I'm
just
not
a
sure about
complete
that one.
coincidence.
I'm not
But
sure
this is
about
what
that
happens
one.
when you spend way too much time
However,
on
yeah,
internet
that is
conspiracy theory
interesting.
rabbit
Like I
holes.
said, some of the ones where it predicts like the world, like the real life events, like the president. I don't know. I do remember seeing an old video saying that Donald Trump said that he would want to be president one day. Whether you can base it off that, because Think and Family people have said it. Some of that stuff is actually crazy. Like, I'm not too sure about the last one, because it's just like $9 written in the middle of what was the New York skyline 21 years ago. But yeah, guys, that was very eye-opening. I'm definitely going to have a look at some more of the mathematical secrets in The Simpsons. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys later for the next video.